if at the end of the day, the US is going to come along and say, cool, we're going to seize your digital assets, which I'm going to leave that aside for a minute because I don't know what that actually means. And I think there's a lot of nuance that could be being obfuscated there. But come back to that in a minute. If you think about it, if you want to be able to send value outside your borders, Bitcoin is really the only reliable way that you can do that without another government censoring you. So how can you do that? Well, you have to produce your own blocks. That's the only way to ensure that you truly can. And if you want to back into some numbers, I did this while you were talking. It's pretty ironic that they have 0.8% of the Bitcoin network right now being secured in Iran, assuming that data is true, and I have no reason to think it's not. Right now, there are 144 blocks produced each day. If you wanted to produce one block, you need 0.7% of the hash rate in the network. And that means that you could produce a block in Iran every day, send it out, and send value to whomever else is on the ledger, right? If you've got 0.7%, they have 0.8%, right? So they can right now, in an uncensorable way, continue to send their Bitcoin to any of their other allies and trade that for goods and services. Now, I want to come back to the digital asset thing because I think, Opti, you're onto something directionally, in my opinion. Like there's smoke there for sure. The fire, though, I'm not sure where it is. And the reason for that is because I think when it comes to digital assets, I don't believe that they seized any Bitcoin unless they did it through the exchange itself. And figuring out how to crack the exchange and somehow get the private keys to Bitcoin. I just don't believe that they're seizing Bitcoin. And I think they're intentionally saying digital assets to kind of rub Bitcoin or roll Bitcoin in the mud with the fact that they can seize stable coins. So I think they're trying to conflate those two intentionally to project power, as you're saying, Nico. So they want to project that they have the capability to do this. But, I think to draw an analogy, in the popular media right now, I think everybody's seen that drone warfare is this asymmetric situation that's like countervailing like traditional industrial warfare. And everybody's racing to get drones and saying, cool, we can protect ourselves from missiles and stuff by having drone warfare. And that's largely stopped Russia and Ukraine and all these other things, right? It stopped the Strait of Hormuz. So in the exact same way that that's going on in the analog reality, in digital reality, Bitcoin's the same, right? It's asymmetric. Me as a single individual, I can project my power because you have to extract the secret key or my private seed phrase to be able to move my Bitcoin. And that goes the same for every individual, whether they're an entity or an individual. So it means, can the US government just force their way into stealing Iranian Bitcoin? No, I don't think they can. And going a step further to correlate this, like the timing is sus for sure, but did they really sell their Bitcoin or did something else happen there, right? Like, first of all, what are they paying their soldiers for? At the end of the day, if you're going to fund a war, it's when the military and the soldiers stop getting paid that really the war changes, right? And so as long as Iran is continuing to fund their military, they're going to keep fighting in this conflict. And what are they being paid? I don't know. Is it the local currency? Is it Bitcoin that they're taking? I just don't know. But I could see another counter case where the US somehow seized all the digital assets from Navi Techs and took that and then said, cool, we're going to go sell the Bitcoin and we're going to dump the price so that we can correlate to the fact that we've seized digital assets, including Bitcoin. Well, they haven't really. They've just managed to, put a gun to the head of the exchange operator and have them send all their Bitcoin to the US, right? That's the only way that could conceivably happen. So I think that there's a ton of open questions. There's more that needs to be uncovered. But at the end of the day, using digital assets as a narrative continues to allow the US to project power on their ability to force financial censorship with other countries. And at the same time, Iran continues to mine there and project their power because they can produce a block a day with their current hash rate and transfer value to anybody anywhere in the world. And if you see blocks show up in mempool, I picked this up from listening to Bob Burnett recently. Every once in a while, you'll see a block that says unknown. You don't have to label who produced the block in the mempool. And I would argue that those unknown blocks are probably government actors that aren't looking to follow necessarily all the rules of the network and care about broadcasting that, hey, this was Iran that mined this block, but they're probably producing blocks, throwing them on there and wanting to be discreet and say, hey, it wasn't us. So nobody knows it's them transferring value.